Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw for Insider Travel Report. I'm here with Tristan Dowell and Christina Gambini of Hyatt, and we're going to talk a lot about what's going on with Hyatt today, and this is Insider Travel Report. Now, my first question is, let's talk a little bit about all the hotels, and you probably don't have any hotels developing, right? Let's talk first, what's going on, what's to come this year, and what's in the pipeline. Tristan?
Yeah, thanks. Thank you, James. And we've got lots happening with Hyatt. With our brands first and foremost, we have Park Hyatt Los Angeles in the pipeline, Park Hyatt Auckland, Park Hyatt Jakarta. Luxury is a big focus for us as a company, as well too as our lifestyle brands. We are very, very excited about Andaz. It's just past 10 years.
Yeah, well, Andaz has been growing like crazy, and I know I've been at a number of the Andaz properties, and I'm actually going to the one in Mayakoba soon.
Oh, do you have a favorite?
You know what? I was in Singapore. I thought that was wonderful. It's a brand new property. I'm going to take a look at the Andaz Mayakoba, and of course the Fifth Avenue one is always favorite. It's where you're based, right?
Yeah.
And that's right. But Andaz is definitely a brand that's on the way, right?
Well, we just included Andaz Singapore into Virtuoso, so while we're here, we're delighted to have that. But another Andaz is Andaz Munich and Andaz Vienna in the pipeline too. Then a big focus for us with Hyatt, after a lot of research we've been doing, is the focus on well-being. Well-being is a key aspect for us, for not just for our customers, but just generally holistically for Hyatt. So we've been really learning for some of the best since we acquired Miraval, and Miraval has really given us an indication to really be laser focused on our approach with well-being. And we have another Miraval opening, which will be in Austin, and also that complements our sort of acquisition of Exhale as well, which allows us really to bring in wellness, through all aspects.
Now, to clarify for me, what's Exhale? I sort of know the name, but I don't know if our viewers know it as well.
Yeah, so Exhale is, literally the best way, James, if you and I are in Chicago, we can go to an Exhale retail entity, and allows us to go and have bar, we can have ear seating, we can do, high-end endurance activities, yoga. So it just gives really our World of Hyatt members, but also our guests, let's say, for example, where we don't have, a real sort of heavy spa or well-being offering, the opportunity to go into that location as well.
So all right. So we have Andaz, we have the Miraval, we have Exhale, and of course you have your other sort of main Hyatt brands, and those are Grand Hyatt and Hyatt. And then I've actually been in a bunch of your sort of localized Hyatt products in New York and things like that. Talk a little bit about those products, if you could.
Yeah, so we have our Grand Hyatts, our Hyatt Regencies. We have one of our exciting new lifestyle brands is Hyatt Centric. We've recently opened in Lima, Peru, and Santiago, Chile, and it's exactly what it sounds like, in the center of it all. Of course, we have our Hyatt Places and Hyatt Houses as well that offer customers great value depending on the location where they need to be. So
basically you have sort of a hotel that will meet any need, I would think, right?
Exactly. We our brands really cover a whole host of the consumer's needs and the agency's needs as well. Literally from luxury, from our Park Hyatt brand, straight through to what Christina was saying with Hyatt Place and Hyatt House, with our select service brands. And there's one that we forgot to mention. That's the Unbound Collection. Now, the Unbound Collection was a brand that's, we launched back in April 2017, where that gives us an opportunity to go and bring in independent properties, for example, like the Driscoll or the Martinez, which has had a multi-million-dollar refurbishment.
And I have stayed at the Martinez several times. That was a Grand Hyatt for a little while, right?
Correct. So that fits in perfectly with our Unbound brand, because the Unbound brand allows us to really bring to life some of these beautiful hotels with immense history, like the Martinez, like the Driscoll, but also, James, it allows us to also venture into some other areas, maybe hospitality, maybe not, traditional hospitality, like, for example, we have an investment with Oasis. But also it gives us an opportunity maybe to venture into other areas with the Unbound brand, because it's really focused on experiences around the world.
Yeah, and those are kind of independent hotels that are part of a collection, and that get all the marketing and reservation services through Hyatt, right?
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely. So in addition to Martinez and the Driscoll, we also have the Confident in Miami. And again, when you got a sort of feel of the old 1950s, what Miami used to be, you can bring that to life, with your experience there as well.
Well, I know the Martinez is one of my favorite con hotels. Whenever we go to the famous international luxury travel market, I end up staying there somehow. But it's a great place to stay.
Well, it's going to be certainly a big change from when you last saw it, and I think there'll be a number of people wanting to experience it this time in December.
Now, Christina, and we mentioned Park Hyatt, and that seems to be expanding pretty broadly. I mean, I remember when the Park Hyatt finally opened in New York, and that was such a big impact on the city as the first major five-star new branded hotel in New York for quite some time, right?
That's correct, and it is one of our flagships now. It's a fantastic property with an amazing location in New York on 57th Street and a very contemporary offering to what is a market that had very traditional luxury properties. And it's just, if you haven't seen it, you have to go by. It's an amazing property.
And then you've just recently, in the last year or so, you've opened Park Hyatt in St. Kitts, which is getting a lot of rave reviews, right?
That's correct, yes. In St. Kitts, we have our first Miraval Wellbeing Center, which is something that we're going to be looking at adding in some of our Park Hyatts as we open them.
So you'll use that Miraval brand throughout maybe some of your more luxurious hotels, right?
Correct, yes, yeah.
Now, I do want to get to how you work with travel agents, and if you could start talking and telling me a little bit about the programs that you have, that'd be great.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. Well, first and foremost is we're delighted to be here in Virtuoso, and it's such a great platform, and the agency community to us is imperative, to our business. They deliver some of the highest ADRs, some of the biggest suite bookings that we've ever seen, especially with our Park Hyatt brand and Andaz brand. They're trusting us with their customers. And with that all in mind, we did a lot of research and wanted to sort of really engage with a number of our key, luxury travel agencies around the world. I preface that it was around the world, to really listen to them and understand their business, but understand their business today, but also into the future, and so build a program that was based on their insights. Okay. So we've had a core group of luxury advisors, and they really, over the last 12 to 18 months, gave us what they would like to see, and that's where Hyatt Prive was born as of February.
So that's the new program, Hyatt Prive, for the sort of very upper crust agents who really sell a lot of you, right?
Correct. And some of the things that let me explain. It's better for me to explain what they were asking for and how we brought that to life. Is that Hyatt Prive, really features. If you're my agent, James, you can go on there as a Hyatt Prive advisor, and you can go in. If it's Park Hyatt Paris Vendôme, you can go in there and see that Claudio Geccarelli is the GM. Who the head concierge is. But that's where you unlock a whole host of benefits from, guaranteed arrival, guaranteed upgrade, within 24 hours of booking, benefits such as breakfast, hotel experience credits, and just, one of the key things we found from listening to the advisors was give us something that they can tell their clients when they are maybe booking James, your customer, what's unique to do maybe in St. Kitts, Paris, or Milan, for example, and the concierge is giving their recommendations.
No, that's a great program. And Christina, obviously you've been here at Virtuoso talking to a few agents, I think. What's been the reception to that program?
Agents are very excited. I think, we were kind of late to the game on this one, but because we wanted to ensure that when we did put a program out there, that it was meaningful for them. And just since the launch in February, the success has been tremendous. It's been extremely well received by our agency partners. The numbers are fantastic. We're driving ADR, at many of our hotels, and, we are not resting on our laurels, even though it just launched. We are here meeting with advisors, talking about what's next, what do they want to see, what further enhancements on the website, additions to the program in terms of other Hyatt brands that they might want to see in the program. So it's been very well received. We're very excited about it.
No, that's great. And of course, the Virtuoso, they're not shrinking violas. They'll tell you what they think. That's for sure.
This is true.
Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about what you see as trends in the market and what's going on in terms of hotels and hotel development. development and also the relationship with agents and hotels. Christina, let's start with you, and then I'm going to close out with you, Tristan.
Yeah, so I always think about the words trend is kind of one of those things I don't love, but I think, in the agency community, it's one of those things that there's always going to be relationships is what drives our business, and the relationship needs to exist between us as their supplier, their partner, them as our partner, and then the customer. It's kind of a three-way partnership for us. So we've seen that just continue to be the most important thing. And I think, maybe we got away from that a few years back, but it's, one of the things that is driving our business. It's one of the core factors of Prive, and I think it's why we've been so successful with the program.
Now, Tristan, obviously there's been a lot of development. You have a lot of different brands in your system. What are the trends you see going forward in terms of, are there too many brands now? You've got brands for each segment, but it seems like there's been an explosion of branding within hotels, certainly in the last 5 years or so.
Yeah, there are some fantastic brands out there. Let me sort of answer your question as it pertains to Hyatt. With Hyatt, we have a good portfolio of brands, and our focus really is again based on customer insight. And what we're hearing from trends is that is to really sort of further bring those brands to life, and let me give some clarity to that. Is really truly differentiate the brands. So when we're talking about Park Hyatt, bringing in truly luxury experiences, and I can give you an example, James. If when you and I get down to go and see Park Hyatt Bangkok at some point, is that we also have a curated Park Hyatt program called Park Hyatt Masters Food and Wine, and that ties in very well with the Park brand because it would allow us to go off with the chef at Park Hyatt Bangkok and go off and have truly local experiences, but also cook with him. So it's not having a fine dining experience.
I don't think you want my cooking unless he was really good at educating me. But
you never know. I wasn't a great cook, but the things that I've learned from whether it's Chef Pierre down at Park Hyatt Aviara when he took me down to the Carlsbad Aqua Farm, it's what I call it's about getting into the field and engaging with local purveyors and listening to the chefs and Park Hyatt Masters Food and Wine. It's about sharing simple dishes that you can do and pairing it with wines. So that's one thing that we're doing to bring the brands to life. Then Andaz, we have a program there called the Andaz Salon. And the Andaz Salon program, again, like Park Hyatt, touches all of our hotels in that brand, but the Andaz Salon is like bringing what I call cultural insiders together. So we may bring in our friends that maybe are interested in art or design, James, and then we bring in, a local artist that talks about what's happening with art, maybe in New York or in Amsterdam, and we have, we have an engaging session. We spark conversations, and it's bringing like-minded individuals together. So that is one of the things that we're doing across all of our brands, and also with the World of Hyatt loyalty program that's, was recently relaunched. Is if the focus there is not just giving experience in hotels, but allowing our customers to go off outside of hotels and have experiences, and some of that could be philanthropic experiences, for example.
Voluntourism, things like that.
Correct, and we've done things with helping children in Costa Rica, and from anything with our Red Partnership that we have at Andaz as well. It's about bringing, meaningful experiences together throughout our brands.
Well, and you hit on the head with localized experiences. Something we've been hearing a lot here at Virtuoso is what everybody wants today. It's not just luxury and having all the best things in the hotel room. They want to have that experience with the people around them in the cities and the small towns, and you have to deliver that.
Correct. And that's the one thing is that, as I said, within Virtuoso there's some wonderful brands here, from destinations to great hotel groups, and within Hyatt we want to focus on what we can do, what we can do that's differentiated, again, like Masters Food and Wine, like what we could do with Andaz Salon, and not many people know that we've got $1 million pieces of art within our Park Hyatt brand. So what can we do with with art as well, and likewise just doing something that is being based on customer insights, and it's having fun and interesting experiences.
Experiences is the word. Well, I want to thank you for filling us in on what's going on with Hyatt. Anything more that you want to get to out our travel agents out there in the market?
I think we just want to thank them for their support. I mean, Hyatt has been extremely supportive of the agency community, and we intend to continue that, and we want to make sure that they realize how much we appreciate them.
Tristan?
I just want to echo that. I mean, the travel agency community, the advisors out there, outside of, Virtuoso and advisors around the world that work with Hyatt, is that, you are very important. You are a direct channel to us. You're trusting us with your customers into our hotels, and we want to thank you for your support. We're here for you, and this is such an amazing industry, and it's just great to hear. Every advisor that I speak to here at Virtuoso has told me they are just absolutely swamped with business. That can only be a good thing.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what I hear all the time here, and for luxury travel and for travel in general, it's going to be a great year. Thank you both very much for spending time with us, and I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.